Oh, another little tip on the side piece. As you can see, I'm coming along. If you get excess hot glue near it, basically really quickly use a flame just to let's see if we can see this here. Just to wipe it, and then you can, the hot glue will kind of soften for a second, and then you can wipe off any excess that comes with it, and it'll clean up your cosplay a little bit in case you happen to go over on certain spots where you don't want that showing. So I don't know if you can see that one right there. There you go. And so the lighter comes in handy for something like that. And again, if you didn't get it the first time, then try again. There we go. You have to be a little quick about it, but there you go. Cleaned it up. So now I'm going to work on, like, you know, the other piece, maybe right here. Another thing you can use the lighter for, which is really good, is the ends of the seams of the olive strapping. So what you can do is, let's see, what is this here? Oh, okay, it's just a hole. When you're on the edge here, sometimes the edges maybe fray. So what you can do is just add a little bit of heat to it and just wait like a second and a half, so it's slightly cool to the touch, but not cold enough that it won't mold. And then you can kind of work the edges that way, and especially if you have like little strands of the fuzz like that, you can cut it off, right? But you know, in a lot of cases it will burn it off as well, so that the seams will look a little closer, a little more clean. And obviously I could probably trim up a couple of these, but again, it's based on what you want to do. So I'm going to continue working. I did make a little ammo case for the actual clip. On his right side he has a clip here, so that's going to go there, and it should be out of position. Make sure you don't have it in a position where it's going to impede your arm movement. Although I do think it is about 6 inches in from the front of the piece. So I think it's just along a little in front of his oblique muscle. So that should give you that. And we'll continue working here. Alright, another tip for you. Another tip, if you run into problems, which I did here, the old straps that I used were too short on these three. So good thing that I came across is this is where the ammo clip is. So what I did is I actually cut the straps. I don't know if you can see that. I cut the strap there where there'd normally be a loop, so I could hide the fact that I didn't have enough length. And now I'm going to be able to attach the other one on there, and that also keeps this locked down to this. I glued it to here so that that'll hide that seam. The only seam that's not fully hidden is the one where the ammo clip is going to go to, but that's okay. So I cut it, added one more strap that I had, and I don't have many of these left, so it added a little extra length, and I'm going to finish it there. So cosplay is about problem solving, and that's one problem that we just solved. Alright, so I'm a lot closer to finishing the build here. There's quite a bit of stuff that I did off camera because it was extremely late at night. I had to stay up because I have about 5 days left to finish this specific build. So here's the neck piece. Notice I added that little extension because this is actually going to fit on the back of that tab right there that you see. So you can see that it fits on that tab so that it's reinforced, and I added the shapes, and I'm going to have to add the nylon to that. Little thing stuck here. And then basically I added some detailing. So notice I covered this part already because it has another section that goes over it like this. And that's what this basically material is. I glued it already, so I'm just going to add it to this. But if you notice, I have some detailing and a little strap. And then if you can tell, I reinforced it with some hot glue just to keep it steady and secure. And basically it's going to fit around this way, around my neck area. So I'm going to do that, add that onto it. Now, as far as this is concerned, if you can see, I added a strap. Now, oh, one more thing. I needed to figure out a way to keep this secured on the inside of the collar part of the armor. So what I actually did was I created a little slot. I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't see it on that. See if you can see the light through it. There's a slot through here. This is going to feed through that slot and hold it in place on the neck piece. So just little things that you can kind of come up with to secure it. Notice I've secured this to this. Now I was going to repaint over this where the glue kind of spread a little bit. You probably can't see that too well. There you go. But this is where that white X comes up, and it kind of covers that. So I'm not going to do that yet. I'm not going to paint this yet unless I feel like I need to. I'm going to add some detailing and distress to this one because I think both of the shoulder pieces are still armored pieces, and so they have some distress. But notice I've used foam, and then I covered it with some nylon to it. You can see it. And then I made my own little, I don't know what this thing is that's on his shoulder in the middle. I thought it looked kind of like a knife or something, or a what, but so I created that with just a key ring, some foam. I split the foam in the middle so I could insert the key ring. I super glued it. Then I added that little clip, which is basically it's just a collar stiffener for your dress shirts. And then I added some foam to it to bring it out a little bit, to give it some depth. Of course, some string to go around it. And then this I actually used, I stiffened it up on the back here with a piece of foam. This is foam right here. And then overlaid it is just a nylon strap. So that's what the case is made out of. And then I added some thumbtacks, which I'm going to add some distressing to it. And then of course I had this sitting in my Cosplay box, so it's just like a flip of light. So it looks very similar to what he had on his. So I just added that to mine. You could probably make it or find something similar that will work. And then if you can see, I added some Velcro because the shirt that I have has Velcro on the shoulders. Now the reason why it's offset is the shoulders kind of falls back towards my rear delt, towards my back. And so this way, if I needed to bring it more forward, it'll still fit that whole area of Velcro, in case I want it to show more from the front as opposed to the side or the back. So I don't want it in the back for sure. So this will hold it perfectly on the side using about mid Velcro on the shoulder sleeve. This is about front of the Velcro on the shoulder sleeve. So that way I can adjust that as I go. Notice I haven't painted it yet with the X, but I will get to it. I've added these so that on the inside I do have some Velcro. I don't know if you can see it here. Right there on the inside there's some Velcro. That is where these pieces fit into, so that it keeps it down and tucked under. And then of course I have my little clip there. There we go. And then this shoulder side is for the Camel Patches. And again I did the same thing. You recess back. Oh, you know what? This one I did reversed. I need to put it in the back here. So I might just get another piece and I'll just do that. But anyway, there you go. So I just super glued the inside of this pouch to the foam, and then I added some hot glue around the edges to make sure that it stayed pretty strong and solid. Other than that, I think that is a lot of what I've done to finish it off. There's the back piece still. Added that buckle, right? So it's coming along. It's almost done. I still need to do the front. There's 3 pouches that fall here. 3 pouches and 2 little silver brackets. Paint it. And then I have to work on the power gloves if I have time for the 2.0s. And then spray the shin pads. So, alright. So hopefully you'll see it soon. And I'll show you the next section.